Good morning, everyone. Today, what you'll be working on in science is another gizmo. This is another short one. It's just a page front and back, but this is going to be a chance for you to do a little practice measuring with a ruler and possibly learn a little bit about how trees grow and how that affects the rings that are inside of the tree. And so, like all gizmos, if you look on the left-hand side of my screen here, it starts with some prior knowledge questions. And so these are ones that you don't even need to look at the gizmo for. Maybe you could even do them before you log in. And if you need to just guess, then you just guess. This is based on your prior knowledge. So we've got 4 questions here, just asking you maybe a little bit of information about what you know about trees and how weather conditions can affect them. And we're not going to be doing the full gizmo that gets into these weather conditions. We're just focusing on some measuring practice today. So once you've answered those questions, you'll go to the second half of the first page, which is the gizmo's warm-up. And if we look at these instructions, it says the Measuring Trees gizmo shows part of a forest. Click on Tree E to select it. On the right-hand side of the gizmo, a cross-section of the tree is displayed. Click Show Larger View for a larger image. So if I move my head here, we click Tree E, which is this little guy, and then it gives us a cross-section, that's what this little circle is, of the tree. We need to click Show Larger View. And then we've got sort of a blown up image of it with a ruler there. And if that's too small for you, there are zoom in and zoom out buttons up on the top here. So the directions do tell you, number 1, the rings of the tree are called growth rings. Click zoom in for a clearer view. So you do that, click zoom in, and you're going to count the number of rings between the center of the cross section and the outside. And you do not include the bark. So you're going to count those rings, fill that number in here on the worksheet. Then it tells you to return to the forest. So that's up in the top left corner here. And it also says advance year. So we're going to advance 1 year in time for these trees to grow. You might have noticed that they jump up just a little bit. And now we're going to look at that cross section again because it's asking you how many growth rings are there now. So we click larger view. Zoom in if you need to, count those rings, and record your answer over here. And then we're going to do the same thing again for number 3. Return to the forest, advance the year, show larger view, count the rings. Okay, make sure you zoom in so you can see what you're looking at. Number 4 is a question they want you to answer using kind of the information you've hopefully picked up on. What does the number of rings tell you about the tree? So after you have counted rings 3 times in 3 different years, what did you notice changed in this situation with the trees? Then moving on to the second page in the gizmo, it wants you to return to the forest and click reset. So reset here. And that puts our trees all back down to their original growth. Then looking at these trees, it's asking you, which one do you think is the youngest? A, B, C, D, E, or F? And then it also asks you, which one do you think is the oldest? So you're just going to write the letter in for the tree there. Then we're moving on to number 2. It says collect data. Measure each tree in the following ways. Tree A has been done for you. So you're going to click on the tree that you want to measure. Estimate the height to the nearest tenth of a meter using the draggable ruler. So if we're looking at tree A, we're going to drag this ruler over here to tree A and line it up, 0 at the bottom. Okay, and then estimate as best you can how tall it is. They are estimating that it's 6.9 meters. Okay, you can click show larger view, but not of the cross section. And you'll do that larger view for the rings, but you're estimating the height at 6.9 meters. After you've counted the rings, you should be able to estimate the age and measure the diameter and the circumference. So we've selected tree A. You're going to click on Show Larger View. And we've got tree A up here, so it tells you you're looking at the right one. You're going to zoom in, count the rings, and that will tell you the age. They counted these, and they got 9 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rings. And then the diameter, they're measuring that. You can move the ruler to help you measure the diameter. And the circumference, there's a button up here for you to find the circumference. And it tells you 23.3 centimeters of string was used to wrap around the tree. So that tells you the circumference is 23.3 because circumference is the distance around a circle. So you're going to do that for each of the following trees. Okay, then question 3, and fill out the chart. A is already done for you. How does the age of the tree relate to its size? So looking at the ages that you have recorded, how does that relate to the size, which you would see from the height, the diameter, and the circumference? And then to extend your thinking, they want you to compare the circumference values to the diameters. So if you're looking at the circumference, that distance around the outside, and the diameter, how do they compare? Okay, and they ask you how many times the diameter is the circumference. So if I look at tree A, it looks like the circumference is about 3 times larger than the diameter, because if you took 7.4 times 3, you'd be pretty close to 23.3. All right, and once you get to the end of the second page, you can stop there. Okay. Hopefully this is a chance for you to just practice a little bit more measuring with the rulers when you're looking at the diameters, and you have a good day. Hopefully this video was also helpful to you.